First and foremost, I'd like to, on behalf of the people of Papua New Guinea, the government of PNG, I'd like to thank two governments, Indonesia and Malaysia, for establishing CPOPC. That has done a lot in terms of oil palm growing and in terms of increasing our production for the smallholders in our country. I will do the presentation and you will see there's been increase in the smallholder production from 2018 going forward. I joined the oil palm institution in PNG in 2018 and we had, I was privileged to be in Malaysia to attend one of the meetings and organized by CPOPC, and going on from there, we've engaged with CPOPC in a bigger way. This month, beginning of this month, the Indonesian Prime Minister, Indonesian President came to PNG for bilateral talks with our Prime Minister, and the encouragement to our country was oil palm. Oil palm is the way to go. Now, PNG, as you can see, we have floodplains. Papua New Guinea and PNG, we have Melanesians living on the other side in Indonesia. We also have the same colored people in Indonesia and Malaysia, residents of PNG, and we have a long relationship way back many years. The challenges in PNG now is increasing law and order problems, and these increasing law and order problems we are facing in there in terms of transnational crime and all that will affect our countries and our region. It's not going to be only Papua New Guinea problem, it's going to be a problem that will affect our countries as well. And the only way to help Papua New Guinea, with its growing population, and now with poverty and all this increasing, we need to go oil palm, and oil palm is the way to go because oil palm is sustainable, and our citizens want a commodity that has got a good price. So we are price takers. The people are price takers, and oil palm can be able to solve our issue. Now I'll just go and do a presentation on the smallholder sector of oil palm in PNG. So we go through it. That's my presentation. You can go ahead on to the next page. Our vision and mission of oil palm in PNG is to create a prosperous, secure, healthy, empowered communities participating in PNG success as a world leader in production of sustainable palm oil, and to increase the production, productivity, profitability, and sustainability of oil palm in both male and female smallholders in our country. To the next page. Okay, this is basically a table of contents. We'll go through the introduction of palm oil in our country. We'll look at the planted palm oil areas in Papua New Guinea. We'll go on to look at the oil palm contribution to the economy of Papua New Guinea. We'll also go and look at the government support in the oil palm in Papua New Guinea. There was no government support over many year period. The government started providing funding and doing intervention programs for smallholders since 2019 till now. So we'll look at that. We'll look at the oil palm and its benefits to the communities in Papua New Guinea. We'll look at the key summary points, issues and challenges faced by smallholders in PNG. Go to the next slide, introduction, to the next slide. Okay, so Papua New Guinea's profile. PNG is a culturally diverse country with over 800 different languages. Top pidgin, English and Motu are our official languages. Our population is estimated to be around about 9 million. It is the third largest island country with land mass of around about 462,800 square kilometers. which is about 47 million hectares. Agriculture-based economy with oil palm as major export earner, richly endowed with natural resources, including mineral and renewable resources, such as forest, marine resources, including a large portion of world's tuna stocks, and in some parts, agriculture. With such abundant resources, PNG is among the top of the world's investment destinations. I will go to the next. Okay, so agriculture in PNG, agriculture is more than 7,000 years old history and developed out of pre-agricultural planted food collecting and cultivation traditions of local hunter-gatherers. About 45% of the land is considered suitable for agriculture and cultivation and development. That's out of the 47 million hectares. Palm oil is the major agriculture export earner, generating on average USD 510 million, which is in terms of Kina 1.7 billion in export earnings. We have other cash crops including coffee, cacao, sugar, copra, rubber, vanilla, and fresh vegetables. Go to the next slide. The background on oil palm industry in Papua New Guinea. Oil palm first got introduced in the late 1800s. However, commercial cultivation began later years of the 1960s. Oil Palm Industry Corporation is a statutory body and was established in 1992 by the OPIC Act 1992. So that's when we as a government is established to be responsible for oil palm, which includes extension services to our smallholders. It is principally financed by a FFL levy of USD 1.3 per metric ton, and that is paid by a merchant levy by the milling company. The oil palm plantations was set up in the form of nucleus estate schemes in which palm oil plantation and the crude palm oil mill were jointly owned by the plantation companies. The area around the plantations were allocated to smallholders who grew their own oil palm and supply fresh fruit palm to the mills for processing and exporting of steel. The PNG Oil Palm Industry Corporation, as I've said, is the government body responsible for the sector. Its own responsibility is to provide extension service and support services to the smallholder farmers. So the industry in Papua New Guinea is not regulated. We are operating in an unregulated environment. Next slide. Total areas planted with oil palm in PNG. Just below is summary of oil palm planted hectares represented by company plantation and smallholders. So in all, our private companies own around about 133,854 hectares. Smallholders own 67,610 hectares, total of just over 200,000 hectares. It's very a very, very small oil palm economy out there in PNG. So if new development areas are added to current project areas and OPIC and milling companies, the estimate would be around about 250,000 hectares. We have around about four areas planted with oil palm that was basically introduced to harvest log and plant oil palm. It was legislated through the government, but due to sustainability and RSP requirements, the legislation, the law that introduced the development got stopped, it got cancelled. So we still have them, but it's not under our mandate because we do not have smaller activities taking place in those four areas. Just to the next slide. Okay, that basically shows the smaller schemes there. We have out of the, we have around about 21,126 smaller growers. Again, fairly small, and that's 21,100 more or less, or planters own 67,600 acres that I have already mentioned. To the next slide. Okay, so this is the ownership scheme. We have two types of land ownership scheme and smallholder scheme. One, we have smallholders that have planted palm oil on customary land or traditional land, and we also have smallholders sitting on a land settlement scheme, which was arranged by government like FERA in here. So for the land resettlement scheme, we have proper land titles to it, we are okay. But we have challenges with customary land owners in terms of extension service, in terms of proper delivery to the mills, replanting. There are big challenges there. We are looking at, into the future, we are looking at converting the customary land title is probably a state lease and then giving titles back to the growers. So basically, under that arrangement, through the state scheme, we have 4,990 growers. We have one under, let's go back to the previous slide. That one there. 4,990 through the state land owner scheme. 14,955,000 hectares grown through, we call it VOV, village over farm planted on customary land. And we have 1,218 hectares owned through what we call CRP, customary rights possessed. So people from other provinces or areas going into where our farm is planted, they go and buy customary land and plant it. But a lot of challenges in there as well. To the next slide. Just a basic analysis of our yields and production from 2018 to 2022. Basically, that's the time we started getting ourselves, Papua New Guinea started getting more involved with CPOPC. We got data 10 years back, but I just chose to get data for the last 5 years. To the next slide, that's the one. You can see our yields are not good there by year 2015 to 2022. But that's the average yield for smallholders, 11.51 in 2015, and in 2022, 12.32. So our average yield is around about 10-11 tons per hectare per year. In Papua New Guinea, the land is very fertile, so our private sector companies there doing between 25, 30, some also go as far as 40 tons per hectare per year, because the management of the plantations are very good in comparison to smallholders. These yields here, around about 60% of the smallholder blocks we have here, no fertilizer. Right up to date, I would say about 60% of what we planted in there over the last 4 or 5 years, there is no fertilizer applied, but we can be able to reach through best management practice without putting fertilizer. We can reach 20 tons hectare per year. But that's the overall average based on the acreage that has been planted, which also includes some plantations that have some smaller blocks that have gone over it. Okay, so our income in terms of US dollar for the last 5 years is 1.2 million. The planted oil palm in PNG by smallholders is all RSTO, we meet their standards. So we sell our crop to Europe. That's why you see the yields are low, but the income is high because we are selling directly to Europe on the premium price. Okay, next.
Captain,
Okay, yes.
2 minutes injury time.
Our export earnings, go to the next page. Our export earnings from 1990 to 2020, you can see our export earnings have grown to $827.21 million. Go to the next slide. That's the export volume, 669,000 metric tons. To the next. Government support, as I've said, next slide. That's basically some of the information that I was saying. Go to the next slide. Okay, that government has put some money for smaller maintenance, access road maintenance and rehab. For so many years there was no intervention, but now since 2018 there's some intervention. Funding being provided to maintain to increase in production. Also, there is intervention program funding coming for R&D, and we put that money to a research and development institution we have, and that's also contributing to increasing production and yields slowly. Next slide. That's the one I was just talking about. Go to the next slide. Those are some of the activities that the research institution is doing for smallholders. Go to the next slide. Benefits to the community. Okay, the industry provides employment to over 200,000 people. It provides income to rural communities. It improves livelihood. It develops remote areas and alleviates poverty, provide income for communities in the country. Next state. Okay. Support wished to gain from CPOPC. We've just got the membership, and the National Executive Council has approved our membership about 3 months ago, but there's a little bit of delay in the Governor General signing of the instruments. Before the end of next month, we should have the instrument signed. Also included in the approval for us to become members of CPOPC, we have been given around about 1.5 million kina, which is around about $700,000 US for us to manage attend meetings, etc., starting from 2024. Next slide. The key summary points. Papua New Guinea, as I have already stated, go to challenges and issues. Next slide. Okay, our issues and challenges. We have issues with the land tenure system. We have issues with 18 and overgrown farms, lack of research and development, particularly in innovation and modern practices, lack of smaller extension services at the back of capacity building. Recommendation for our smallholders is to invest in resolving the disease estates. Is one of the issues we have with overage farms, which is related to massive replanting and new development. More investment from government and donor partners in research and development, especially use of modern practice. More investments in capacity building programs for extension services. And if possible, going forward, when we become a member, possible to assist the industry in PNG in terms of technical service. Thank you, and